After a 20-year career in both audio and video, Joseph Nilo creates tutorial videos, product, and software reviews for the FXFactory YouTube channel as their head of training. Hello, Joseph. Welcome.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
Before we talk about what you do, set the scene. How would you describe FXFactory?
FXFactory is the app store for Pro Video. It's a Mac download, and it's a single download of the App Store, and what's loaded up are thousands of visual effects plugins from independent developers and from FXFactory themselves, and they also work in Final Cut Pro, Motion, After Effects, Premiere Pro, and some audio plugins are even trickling into GarageBand, Logic Pro, things like that. So it's just a one-stop shop for all sorts of great visual effects.
What does the head of training do for an app store?
There's so many products that come out that at least 4 to 8 times a month there's new products that I create screencast tutorials for, so people can learn more about what's coming out and get a quick overview as well.
Why you? Why not the developer?
From a branding standpoint, it's good to have one voice. There are some developers that do some of their own tutorials as well, but when it's all funneled through me, there's, a good branding, and you know what you're going to get from our 2 to 3 minute videos that we put out.
I've seen many of your demos and many of your training videos because I keep getting bombarded with FXFactory emails. How do you plan one of your demos? What's the process you go through?
It moves pretty quickly because there's so much coming out. I interface with Nicholas, who is, the CEO, I think is his title, of FXFactory, the grand poobah over there. As new products come out, I get a license and an overview and a bunch of assets from the developer. I work with the developer creating a script and kind of coming up with a real-world example on what their plugins might do. And then we just turn around a screencast video with a teaser and examples and then how to use them, and then boom, and out. There's so many plugins, it's hard to keep up.
Well, you're talking to filmmakers. What tools do you use to create the demos?
I use, many of their plugins are in Final Cut Pro, so we're creating them right there. I use ScreenFlow to grab the screen captures. I actually bounce over to Premiere Pro to do a lot of the editing and using After Effects for any of the graphics. And then just on the workflow standpoint, I share editorial responsibilities with my partner in San Francisco. I'm on the East Coast, so we work right out of Dropbox. It lends for a very quick workflow, and we can turn these around, like I said, 4 to 8 videos a week. I'm sorry, per month. 48 videos a week would be way too many, but yeah, we can turn them around quickly.
Tonight, we're looking ahead to NAB. What technology trends relating to effects are you expecting? What's going to be hot?
It's hard to keep up. When I go to NAB and I walk around on the floor, I'm just as wide-eyed as anybody else. From my standpoint, I tend to be excited about the software announcements to see what's coming from Adobe and Cinema 4D and some of the on the software side of things. When it comes to trends, I like to see less and less of visual effects because they become more ingrained in reality, if that makes sense. I want to go along for the ride. I want to see a motion captured actor that looks perfect. I want to see graphics on screen and UI that are flawless, and just go along for the ride whenever I'm going to see a movie. On the other side of things, my world is more in the corporate world. When it comes to graphics, it's always changing. I'm seeing more colorful palettes coming out. I'm seeing these kind of retro 2D animations are very big right now. Maybe a mix with those 2D graphics, a mix of the actual 3D elements as well. So it's hard to keep up. I watch as many movies as I can, and when I can see commercials, which I don't as much anymore, I'm blown away with what's coming out of Hollywood and New York City and all the big markets.
FXFactory also has a YouTube channel. What's your role with that?
For many years now. I think I've had to look back, and I've been doing videos for FXFactory since 2008.
Oh, my goodness.
I've done, 1 million videos at this point? I have no idea. It's been going and going and going. And it's fun, too. I was telling Nicholas the other day, if this were accounting software, I would be way less excited. But because I'm a video professional, I get all the new plugins and get to play with them and create videos for them. But what we're trying to do with the YouTube channel is make it more of a pro video portal. So, it's not just pushing their products all the time. It's, whatever I can think of, showing my different workflow stuff, bigger subject matter like, or I should say more specific subject matter like, how to do a proper green screen or how to stack a bunch of plugins on 3D animations to make them more realistic or color correction, So there's more of interest to different people, not just the FXFactory plugins.
As you look at the plugins that are being developed by developers, does it go in waves? Are you seeing that some things are popular at one time and other things are popular at another? And if so, what's a hot wave right now?
The big wave right now is there's a lot going on in the Final Cut Pro world. I do probably 80% of my work in Premiere Pro, but I end up jumping over to Final Cut Pro just to use these FXFactory plugins. And what I'm seeing are a lot of text animations and infographics and professionally animated elements that you can create, for the corporate environment or for social media, videos, things like that. So there's just tons of stuff coming out there that, makes the professional video editor's job a lot easier and creates just gorgeous graphics with, you don't have to do them by hand, just great looking templates. It's
interesting how social media has so totally changed how we approach creating videos, especially for the corporate market. Would you agree?
Yes, you have to kind of roll with it when you're a professional. So yes, doing things a little bit differently, creating square videos and putting titles and click here and subscribe here. We're having to do a lot more for our clients for social media. Yes.
What's your most interesting plugin over the last few months? What one made you giggle when you saw it?
I giggle all day long. That's how I am. What I was just saying about those the text and some of the pre-built animations. There's a developer called Premium VFX, nice folks out of Brazil, and they make just really gorgeous text animations and infographics and transitions that just kind of add a real dynamic flair to everything and allow you to fly your text around. I just think back to when if you want to come up with a gorgeous looking infographic, you would sit down and spend 6 hours in After Effects or buy this plugin and it's been done for you and it's gorgeous. So anytime I can make my job easier and please the client, that makes me happy. So Premium VFX, they have some great stuff.